When I was younger, I was taught a lot of things. And as I was taught them, I would make sure I lock it in and I could repeat it exactly how I was taught it, you know. But I was very observant. Learned a lot just from observing people. And people wondered, like, how is she just always able to just get by? And it's the same thing. It's like whatever habits you have and you figure out it works for you, you lock in on that habit. Anything you do repetitively becomes a habit. And the only way you can shake any of your habits is if you change. Not if I change. You. You know. So I'm here to just set every record straight because it's like every record was broken, every rule was broken in this physical and in the spiritual, you know. And just think about how many people that were great people, and there were other people that sized them up like this, took advantage of them, you know, and they aren't here to say anything about it, you know, to plead their case. And they were only able to plead their case when they passed away. How many of those people could that be? I'll wait. But God said all I need is one. Not two, four, six, one. You know. So even when I was little, and God be like, hey, don't do that. I'd be like, okay, you know. And he'll hit me to everything all the time. And there were situations that other people got me in a shitload of trouble. But you know, whatever the punishment was, I took it. Whatever the beating was, I took it. Personally, I like the whooping better because guess what? I can still go outside, you know, and see if I got a beating for something that somebody else did. That's why I chose the whooping. So I can go back outside and whoop your ass for getting me in that motherfucking trouble. I got repetitive ways too. Just like y'all. It's just that mine is different. I'm not better than nobody. When you go to Petersburg, Virginia, you'll understand that no matter how cute you are, it's no separation of race, class, or culture, or nothing. You ain't gotta be living in these apartments or dwellings to be considered in the hood. They all mixed together. It's just all mixed together. And it's fuck people everywhere. And they don't change shit about the place. None of the people change either. So, am I better than anybody? No. Absolutely not. But what I would not take is somebody trying to run me over, trample over top of me, making me submit to whatever. And I don't care how y'all feel. Because you got women and you got men that feel like people post and answer to them. Do what they say. Bow when they say bow. I'm trying to explain to you how unique my DNA is. God made me to where I don't have to do that. I don't care who you are. I don't have to submit to you. I don't have to agree to you. I don't care if there was an arranged marriage when I was in my mother's womb. Every man you fuck up, and you have fucked up in God's eyes. Because number one, you checked on who I was in the spirit. Number two, you read my contract. Then number three, none of you followed up on it in the right way. You just said, oh, I'm going to use her. I'm going to milk that cow. And guess what? That's why God said, hey, they don't get shit. If you want to get married, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You know, ain't none of them getting nothing. Because as you constantly just seeked ways to destroy me versus building me up and helping me grow or transitioning me to a higher level of consciousness, I did all that shit myself. I didn't let what people said to me get me. And when I did, my parents would check me. Or you gotta check them. But I'm gonna tell you two things that God told me. You know, if you want your life, you'll fight for it. If you don't want, you don't want it, we can forfeit this shit right now. But I at least would want to know what everybody wanted to fight you over. I said, yeah, I do. Agreement understood. The second thing God was saying to me is, you're the trap. In every sense of the word, I'm the trap. So, do you know in your DNA, no matter what you've done, no matter how many lifetimes you've been here, no matter how many times you had to start over, it's the same with the trees, the same with the water. It's evidence. It's evidence of who you are. Any struggles you've been through at any part of your life is in your DNA. So even if you don't want to become a rumbling idiot, but in your past life, if you were a rumbling idiot, you're still one. All it takes is one thing to trigger you, to bring that shit right back to the forefront. And it doesn't matter when that happens. It could happen. So the thing that everybody was banking on was the fact that you could disguise yourself behind me, around me. Truth be told, you didn't even have to do none of that. That was unnecessary. All you had to do was respect who I was and who I am. Abundance would have flowed to you without no spell, without no deception, without no trickery. Especially for the people that's been hiding in my energy for 5, 10 years and you ain't want to be caught or seen. But you want to tell people you married to me. You want to tell people we together. You want to tell folks like, oh yeah, we just going through some difficulties. I ain't never been married to none of y'all motherfuckers. None of you. And if we is over, we is over. You know, don't try to like want to come back because, you know, regardless of whatever I'm worth, it's worth you doing that. That's why the clause is set in the contract. If that's all you care about is money, go make your money. That's what you care about, the fame. Hey, do what everybody else do. When you sell your soul, then sell your body. Get in there, quick. Be famous overnight. Do not come to me with your bullshit. I don't care who you are. I'm very quiet. I'm very reserved. I stay to myself. I don't bother nobody at all. So you must understand what is happening now is because you deliberately, purposely bothered me on so many levels. So many. You thought it was cute. You thought it was laughable. You thought it was whatever. Until you go through it. See, it's going to give you a newfound respect when you want to be a tyrant, decide to slander somebody, or because you want your britches still look big and then let everybody know you wear the pants. Keep in mind, you wear the pants at your house, not mine. Not mine. So any of y'all ladies out there that's in cahoots with any of these men and you're rooting for the cause, you're disguising it under being a good person, religion, or a just, do. You can fool this world, but you can't fool God. So you made that mistake. Not I. You. You don't want to pay for your mistakes? God is making sure I say to everybody. And I'm not saying just because you're doing this shit to me, anybody that you've had this bright idea to do these things to. God is saying, you paying for your karma. You do pay for your karma in this lifetime. How long you'll make it, it's up to you. How much work are you willing to put in to change your circumstances? Either way it go, let's say you don't make it. Okay? When you come back, you're going to finish it out. The reason why I'm making sure I say this, if you really metaphorically read the Bible and you don't understand why these general curses are the way they are, okay? Grace is a currency. Mercy is a currency. Belief is a currency. Faith is a currency. So is deception, lies, deceit, trickery, foolery, malice. I can keep going. And depends on what you're doing, whether that currency builds up or it diminishes. Okay? So let's say your currency is low, right? So you want to find somebody that you can borrow from. The key is you must tell them that's what you're doing. So most of the time, that's why people get married. To know that. Yeah. You remember, like, if the king don't have no money, right? Land, whatever. They'll get that daughter and be like, yeah, I want you to marry this rich king. Because we ain't got no damn money no more. You know what I'm saying? Whether they fucked it over or not. But they want you to be in a union to balance things out, to even things out. So, the difference between the era and time then and what's going on now, people will get to choose if they want to deal with you or not. They'll get an opportunity to see how much bad karma you have, how many lifetimes of this foolery you've been able to get away with. And it will not be allowed to kill somebody off, to reap the benefits, to get people in fake contracts to reap the benefits, or to coerce, steal. Nah. People will end up understanding and knowing who you are. It's like we're going back to the old ways. The matriarch. And they always checked your blood. They always checked your DNA. Because they ain't want to deal with none of your fuckery in their bloodline. Because if you don't understand what happens, it fucks the bloodline up. You know? And then that family got blood on their hands. Brought to them from somebody else trying to hide their hand. You can't hide anymore. When someone understands who demons are, where demons are you hiding? No. No. But every person in this world has the same opportunity to use all your tactics against you. So when things were not fair for men, women, and children in the past, they will be made fair now. Point blank. So you can voluntarily get information about who you are. You know, someone can hire somebody to figure out who you are. You know, or it's the same like if you were to get married and you still got to get like a blood test done and stuff. You know, because people don't want